Today, Junior.
Raw Mike Richards, brought to you by Bell Lifestyle Products. Also streaming live on sauga960.ca. And now, from the Bell Lifestyle Studio, here's Mike.
It is 8:11. Raw Mike Richards. UEFA Champions League today. Ajax Benfica. You see, when you talk about soccer, football, vis-a-vis, you've got to use this accent. Manchester United against Atletico Madrid. According to Nelson, a lot of injuries, 9 players out of fitness. There'll be some gambling, like there will be on the March Madness tournament. You just heard it. So the Raw Mike Richards Tournament Challenge is back on. And this time, $1,000 up for grabs. Now, Evan Brand is very busy with the Mississauga Steelheads, but Evan, $1,000. What do you think? Are you getting that pool? We don't have to tell anyone. We don't have to tell the team. We don't have to tell JR because I don't think he knows anything about basketball. Maybe you got to get in on this.
Yeah, exactly. No, a couple extra $1,000 would be perfect in my pocket.
Yeah. You just don't let your teammates know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're the teammates are the worst. Hey, can I borrow? No, you're not. No, stop borrowing. You can't ask me for any more money. No.
There was nagging.
Well, we're taking a look at a season that is. Look, I've heard it from NHL coaches over the years. You get to a point, especially the way the OHL has been, where you're playing within your same conference all the time. It's like one long playoff series, right? I mean, you're sick of like the Bulldogs, Niagara. Like, it doesn't matter who it is. It's like, oh Christ, these guys again. This is tough. Where you had it, the beginning of the season, for some reason, people thought there's a lot of youth on the team, so it wouldn't do well. Once you got that sorted out, you went on a mad run for most of the season. Now you got to kind of have to fight for a living. But look, it's in terms of the age group, it's probably one of the best leagues in the world. So what do you expect? Each and every night. You're not walking through this one.
No, for sure. Exactly. It's kind of crazy. Like, it's totally different this year, playing teams within your own conference only. So it's like you said, it can be like playoff game almost like right now kind of thing, or even earlier. So you're just getting rivalries built up throughout the whole year, which creates a lot of more intensity in the games. But like you said as well, it's just it's the crazy different league this year as well, just all the speed and skill in it. So it's been like, for us, it was good to get that youth going. It's good to get all our young guys going in the games, and like just help them figure out the league, just the speed of it, the skill of it. So once they got their feet under it, it's been really good for us. And now, we were just in a little bit of not a slump or anything. We just need to figure out our stuff again, get our mojo back, and right before playoffs, so we can have a good long run.
Yeah. So talk about that a little bit, because as I said, teams, you don't get it your way the whole year. Like, you just rarely go on this big run. So lately in the last like couple of weeks or so, what is it that you think that you're not doing that you did before? Is it that, or is it just, I mean, the competition heats up. You're into March now, so playoffs are not that far away. We can see the end of the schedule. Like, what do you think is going on with the team that you don't like, quite honestly? What are you doing?
Yeah, it's a little combination of things, but I think lately we've just been getting unfocused from our structure and our details in our game. So that's the thing. We have to refocus on our style of game kind of thing, and just get back to our type of game where we're the ones controlling the game. We're the ones being physical against guys, being hard on them, just doing the little things correct, or doing the little things right. So for us, it's just getting back our mindset where we're not going to be a super skilled or special team and being fancy out there, but just get back to our hard work and style of play kind of thing. And I think we're going to be totally fine. So I think we're going to regroup here, and we're going to get back on a good run before playoffs. Because
the league changes because of the nature of young guys coming in, and you know what happens. Sometimes a guy's bodies change. A guy comes in, he's 180 pounds, 5'11", maybe, puts on, and then all of a sudden the body starts to change. Maybe his skill set changes. That happens all the time. And I look at a team like Kingston, which you know very, very well, where they had some super hard times not that long ago, right? They were on the bottom part of that cycle. Now, because obviously some star power, they're at the top of that, but their game has changed.
No, for sure. Exactly. That's what I mean. It's not all about like the guys you have on your team, or I guess if it is, like, some guys, their game can totally change depending on they're kind of like say their third year in the league or development kind of thing. So it's for them, yeah, all star power has definitely changed their team. But like for us, it's not even about that really. It's just about like being one team together and doing it all like as a team and just working hard.
Well, and some of the guys being out too. I mean, is Charlie back? Is Charlie back yet?
No, we got honestly a bunch of guys out right now. We have two of our defensemen and a couple of our forwards, Uberti, Dodig, and Collins. So we have like a good group of our guys out, but that's all right. Like we have plenty of guys under and young guys to come out and fill in from some spots right now, and just know that they have to step up to the plate and work their hardest to bring in those roles. So it's right now it's a bit of a battle for sure, but we're still sticking with it.
You've got Barrie again coming up today. You've got we got North Bay and Sudbury. So I mean, really, it's almost like, you know, it doesn't really matter what the positioning is of those teams anyway, because you need those 2 points. Like at this point, you're not going to be picking about who you play. You got to beat them.
No, for sure, exactly. Even against Barrie and North Bay, those are huge games for us. Just trying to get that divisional spot, like in first place, just for that end of the year, and for playoffs, getting that home ice advantage. So I think these next coming games will be massive for us. Like you said, it just doesn't matter about anything else. Just get the 2 points and get out, kind of thing. So
now, I was saying to JR about, you know, when you play hockey as a kid, that I always, even still at my age, there's a certain feeling to a certain month that I have still these incredibly emotional attachments to. When it comes to March, like March break, when you're younger, that's usually when like your season's coming to an end. If you're going right, if you're going to the provincials, and I said, so March to me reminds me of being on buses on the 401. Right. That's what it feels like, and it never leaves you. It's always there. For you, I mean, you're still in the thick of things.
Yeah.
It must feel that there must be an intensity to March that your team must feel per player.
No, for sure. Like for me, it's just like, you know, that playoffs is like 10 games away sort of thing. So it's like, this is your last final push to just honestly get the highest spot. So it's kind of crazy. Like you said, like usually you're on the bus, like in playing provincials in the Ontario's like right around now. Like I remember, honestly, I remember that myself too, but now it's like, you're still grinding away. You're still gotta keep your body in shape for those last kind of few games. So it's definitely tough, but it's like you're so jacked up, just want to get into playoffs and get going, kind of thing.
Now I'm trying to remember where were you in Toronto when you were like midget age? What team were you with?
I did used to play for the Toronto Junior Canadians, but then my last say 4 years I played for the Mississauga Rebels out in actually at Paramount Finance Food Center or across the road from there, called Iceland Arena. So it wasn't too far from there at all. Actually,
you're the veteran now. You walked these streets for a while, right?
I know. I've been there for a while. Yeah.
Well, it's, as I said, it's also kind of cool for the young guys to have the vets that you do because of that closeness. I mean, you guys take a real responsibility in molding these guys, and I think year after year it's that cycle. So who was it for you when you came in? Who are the veteran guys that looked after you?
My first couple of years, it was for sure Liam Murray and Jacob Brotney. They were both leaders of the team at the time. So like they were just veteran presence guys. Actually, one more guy was Emili Rassinen. He was a big, tall, 6'7" defenseman drafted by the Leafs that played for Kingston. So I actually got to go under his wing a bit. And so it's just kind of cool to see the little things that he was doing and that we'd work on just together, because we're both just tall defensemen. I was the young one, he was the older one. So we got the coaches, our old coach Curtis Foster, to work with us together. He played in the NHL as well. But like we got older veteran presence honestly help out so much. And I think for us, it's we realize that kind of now too, that we have to take on a bigger role for us older guys going into playoffs, just to show that what it's kind of going to take for all of us to get our main goal at the end of the year.
Yeah, it's hockey. I always find it. I always say this about the NHL, which is it's the toughest tournament in the world to win. Like when you start back in, well, really, if you talk about activities, late August, but when you're in the fall, like you go through you're 6'7", and the number of hits you've delivered, the number of hits that you get, because you guys play a physical game. So it's not like you're avoiding it. I mean, as you said, they got a ton of guys out right now. By the time you get to April and May, I mean, like, and that's kind of when the season starts a little bit. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
now you get over it. Now, for the team itself, I mean, again, with these guys being out, you really got to look someplace special at this time of year because this is what makes or breaks it. You didn't win it in November, December, but you got to win it now.
No, for sure. It's a long season. It's kind of crazy to think that we started training camp back in August, and then now you're putting a whole grind through in your body. But it makes it so much more special that if you can honestly get through this whole season together as a group and get as far as possibly you can. So I think for us, that yeah, we've all been banged up and we all had injuries and stuff, but we don't really care about that. We just want to keep going and keep going farther in playoffs because it's for me in my last year. So I want to go the farthest I can, but I think we got the really special group, honestly, the closest group I've been with. So I think we all want to get the same goal this year.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, we talk about it every week about the closeness with the team, and I think this is kind of when that matters.
Well,
That's when this counts. But apparently, when it doesn't count is when you play ping pong. There's a weirdness to you guys in the ping pong. I don't know what it is. It turns into a UFC thing. I don't know what's going on, but it's very competitive.
It really does. It gets full on competitive mode. We also got like a top 10 bracket going on each week, or who's the top 10 best players on the team. So that's run by our coach Cracks too. So it gets really competitive. We're all just like, we're doing duos or we're doing 1-on-1. So it gets pretty intense in there, honestly.
Now Brendan Lang, who's been doing a lot of the play-by-play. So Brendan, sorry, you should jump in. You got a question for Evan?
Yeah, sure. Hey, Evan, how's it going?
How's it going? Not too bad.
Good. I was just wondering, Mike alluded to it earlier that you're 6'7". A lot of the defense core is really, really big, like Del Mastro, Bjork, Bigholm. What's it like playing with all those guys out there?
It's actually perfect because you got all of our D-men are just big, so it's kind of like we're almost just kind of like scaring other teams with. So it's kind of funny at the same time, but it's fun playing with them because you know that you're gonna kind of be doing the same thing every night, banging bods against other guys, and they're gonna be there with you, helping out in case you got to do anything to back someone up. So it's kind of fun, but it's kind of just cool to play with all these big guys, and I've never played with before either.
So do you exchange clothes and stuff? Does it get weird? Like, are you wearing their pants and that?
Yeah, sometimes you never know, or someone forgets a jacket at someone's house, and I just, you know what, I'll wear this one today.
Yeah, because Charlie's not wearing your pants. I got news for you. No,
not Charlie though. No.
Well, look, best of luck in the season, Evan. As I said, it's exciting because you guys have played so well, and you know, I know that there's a high expectation because that comes from your general manager, head coach. He wants to win every single game, but you do it as a team. I know you've had a lot of fun as you've done it, and it's the one thing that I really always appreciate about someone like JR is that as big as the moment gets and as hard as the competition is, he always wants you to remember that you got to relax a little bit. You got to have fun with it because this only comes by once.
Exactly. No, for sure. That's the thing for me in my last year as well. Just gotta take it one by one, like each game by game, and just enjoy every game, honestly, through last year.
Well, we're looking forward to the playoffs. Appreciate it. You're an outstanding young man, and thanks so much for this morning.
Thank you very much for having me on. Have a good morning, guys.
That is Evan Brand joining us here this morning, part of that Big D core. And as Brendan, you mentioned, I mean, playing with other guys that are of that height isn't common. In the day, someone 6'7" would have looked freakishly big, would have stood out. And now you got goalies. So some of them are 6'6", 6'7". It is a big man's league. And not always, though. I mean, Charlie Callahan will tell you different. Hopefully they can get some of those players back because this is a tough time of year to be short.
Yeah, for sure. And he mentioned those names, and that's a lot of guys who are big pieces to this team, especially on the defense core. But he's right. There are guys, young guys that can step in. I know Quinn Binney played on Friday. He's been playing in the OJHL this year. Call up. He actually played really well last Friday. So they do have guys that can step in, but at this time of year, you're right. It's just tough to miss those key pieces that have been around and fighting with the guys all year long.
I mean, you mentioned Ty Collins and Max Dodig, and you know what's weird? They've all been on the show recently. I think everyone he mentioned has been hurt. Charlie Callahan. What is this show doing?
Dodig, Collins, Callahan.
Yeah. What is this? What are we, the Deadpool all of a sudden? This is not good. They're not going to want to come on anymore.